Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 125 of Paul Drew Spins Round in a Chair. I'm also James Ivy.
Oh, Paul Drew. Done myself a mischief on that one.
And you are very welcome along to our weekly takeover of the interwebs that is the Studio Rats Live Q&A.
Oh, yes. You right?
I'm
I'm
quite
going to ask you what you've been up to first this time.
All right. Well, I've been doing studio-y type stuff, as in the studio. And
show people the pictures. Show people the pictures you showed me earlier.
I will. So, having painted last week or waited for plaster to dry and painted and stuff, which was about as much fun as watching paint dry, as you'd imagine, we've now started putting up the lighting truss.
Oh, look at that.
Right, and then let me find an actual picture of it finished. So the truss is all up.
Look at that.
And it is very, very cool.
Look at
that. So that's what it looks like in the corners and stuff with some lights on it.
Right, bored now, but
and then this will really. I mean, the first piece of kit went in.
What's that?
It's a router.
Oh, that's right.
Sweet. Nice. Then today we've been laying the floor.
Oh, what is it? Is it like a wooden floor or like a laminate? What's going on?
It is wood,
but
it's on laminate.
Engineered.
Yeah, but it's what's the word?
So you can sand it as opposed to when you sand it.
No, you can't sand this.
Oh,
because it's got a plastic protection layer over the top to make it super.
Is that in case you have a little wee accident?
Well, it's more to it stops scratches and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay, so not wee.
It's industrial floor, but it looks really nice. But it's what's the word? Think of a dark wood. Name of a dark wood.
Mahogany?
No.
Oak? Oak can be dark.
No, it's not. It's darker than oak, but not.
Hey, I tell you what, should we just go through the 1 million breeds of wood?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it's called.
Ebony?
No, it's like a brownie.
Walnut.
Walnut. That's the one. Thank you.
James.
Walnut.
Yeah, James.
Thank you, James.
Well done, James.
Thank you. Walnut. So I got the walnut floor going down. That looks really nice. It's a bit dusty at the minute.
You should have just said, look, it's a nut. And I'd have gone.
Yeah. Internal doors going on tomorrow. Electricity goes on tomorrow.
Ooh.
Which is very exciting. The pipe work for that arrived today, and I thought Jen nearly fell over when this. You see on building sites those huge drums. Of cable.
Yeah.
That's what arrived with the conduit to run to the house.
Ah, nice.
It's mental.
Nice.
But no, it's. I think optimistically, moving in next weekend.
Ooh. Exciting stuff.
There's still some work to do, like tarting up, and obviously where things have gone in and stuff's been tight. There's been a few nicks on the wall and stuff and scuffs that was inevitable.
Yeah.
It's what most importantly, the sound is really good in there. The RTC, the decay is really nice. The work I've put into the acoustic design is sounding really good. Once we put the absorbers in the right place and diffusers and stuff, I think it's going to sound really good in there.
Yeah, nice.
The live end, like the drums end, is going to sound really nice and bright and zingy, which will sound great for drums and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in there.
I don't know if I've asked the question before, but the room you're in at the moment, has that got a higher ceiling?
Only by yay much. So it is still a nice high. I've got a nice high ceiling in the new room.
Okay, just the sound of your drum kit in that room sounds really good. I hope it sounds as good.
I'm pretty sure it will sound as good, if not better.
Okay, great.
Because of the odd nature of the walls and stuff. I've still got all my panels that I can put up and use to create artificial spaces if I need to.
Yeah.
So I can tame the room if I want to, but I do. I like the idea of a live sounding drum kit in a live sounding room. Sounds great.
Nice.
Yes, and I've been trying to fit some normal work in and do some videos and stuff. All the normal stuff,
Yeah,
which has been
nice.
challenging. But it's so close. It's tantalizingly close now.
I bet it is. Yes, I bet it is.
Yes. How about you? What have you been up to?
Actually, I've got to find something for later on. What have I been up to? I have been. I took a couple of days off last week.
Mhm.
Really needed it. I really felt burnt out. I've been feeling really burnt out. Yeah, for a couple of weeks now, I've been doing videos and stuff, and a bit burnt out from guitar, which I don't like being. So I need to take some time off. I still need some more time off, to be honest.
Yep.
So apart from that, all good. And then did a video on amplitude. What's it called?
Not amplitude.
Tonex. It is amplitude.
Is it amplitude? All right.
Yes, it's all part of the same thing, isn't it?
Right.
Tonex. And because I did that, I was going to be like, do you know what? I think it sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I don't think I'll download or go and buy the full version, because I've got gear that does that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then IK got in contact and give me a license to do some more videos. So I'm going to do some videos.
Nice.
And to be honest, I don't think the free version called CS does it justice.
Right.
I've got now the max version, and the first thing one of the only amps that I've actually looked up on there, I just typed in matchless, and some guy's done a club. Was it a Clubman? I think it was a matchless Clubman, and it sounds killer.
Interesting. I thought the higher gain stuff sounded quite. You get that before you hit the sound.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought there was. I mean, that might have just been how it came across on laptop speakers.
I think it was how it came across, because it does react really, really well. It doesn't feel like, so again, it still doesn't feel like the Axe effects.
Right.
The Axe effects got that immediacy to it, and an amp. But I think it's really good, and I think personally, I think it's perfect for producers, like getting getting the amp tone, recording the amp tone, and then doing what the Kemper was originally designed for, by capturing that amp tone just in case you need to do any extra things to it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think it's really good. It's really interesting.
Very interesting. Should we dive into some of the comments and stuff and let's get going?
I've ordered something today.
Now, it's either that master built Strat.
No.
No.
No, I can't afford that. No, I don't want that. I've got my 50 Strat is so
okay.
So
so if you can't afford that, you haven't gone and bought. You haven't bought a Klon, have you?
I bought a Klon. Not a full Monty Klon. I haven't bought a full Monty Klon.
What?
Right, because this is what happened since coming back from Bonner's Music in Eastbourne. I've like when you try something and then you just go, do you know what, I'm obsessed about that, and you just become a bit obsessed. You look up everything on it, and do you do that? Do you do that sort of thing? Yeah. Yeah.
Of course I do. I'm a normal human being.
Yeah. So I've been plugging my little Ryra clone in again, and that's been permanently in my signal chain. Love that. But I've just been obsessing over a proper clone.
Right.
And there was one on eBay, and I haven't bought this. Don't worry. There's one on eBay with a broken power something. Power. Right. I don't know what it was. Something. And I was thinking, do you know what? I could buy that, get it fixed, and then basically get it for less than half price. Then I thought, well, hold on a second. Why hasn't this guy done that? So there's obviously something. I'm not buying that. So then I thought, well, what about the next best thing? Get a Klon KTR. Now they're not making them anymore,
right?
And so I've been doing a bit of research on KTRs, and someone commented about KTRs. Actually said go and check them out. So when the KTR came out, the Klon KTR, I think it was a couple of £100, something like that. Now, if you go on like Guitar, I've got one for 900 quid, second hand.
What?
Mate, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on with pedals at the moment. And on eBay, no, on Reverb, there's one for 1,200. It's just, it's just going bonkers. Yeah, it's almost like this. It's a unicorn effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So anyway, I found one that's basically new for, I think, quite a reasonable price. When I say a reasonable price, it's more than it was new, but it was the cheapest one that I could find. But it's by a long way. It was the cheapest one I could find.
Cool. So you've
don't, James. James says he paid 179 for his KTR. I paid way more than that. But that's all right. The thing is,
yeah, it's an investment piece almost, isn't it, as well?
Well, yeah, because if they're going up in value, I'll just hang on to it, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But they're not coming down in price. So what can you do?
Jump on board, as they say.
Jump on the bandwagon and just fuel the flames.
Yes.
Of scalping.
Fan the flames or something.
No, I think it's fuel the flames for this. Yes. I think it's ridiculous. But anyway, crazy. So a video to come on that. I'm quite excited.
Cool. Right, let's dive in. Here we go.
Jeff Cook says, good morning from beautiful Brisbane. I hope everyone's feeling well and on top of the world. And to you, Jeff. Do you know what? Before we go on any further, I haven't done the news this week. You might need to do a couple of questions while I sort the news out.
Oh dear.
Jeff also, no, we've done Jeff, haven't we? Daniel says, ooh, he's got that. I said one of them.
He did.
Daniel says, good evening.
He doesn't got a dirty great chunk out of the neck.
No, and the body. Good evening from sunny North Carolina. 70 degrees. Mate, it's absolutely pissing down in the UK at the moment, or is down south.
I've had to put our summer gazebo up in the garden, so the guys have got somewhere to cut the timber, because obviously they don't want to do it in there anymore because it's all nice and white and shiny. So it looks like we've got the party ready, but it's pissing down.
Gary's in the house and he said, good evening, afternoon, gents, and fellow Rack Club members in the house. Okay, live. Hey, all, cheers from Brussels, and to you, okay. Brent, he says, hello, all, hope is well. And to you, Brent. Shep's here. Evening, all. Evening, Shep.
We know James said walnut, so we'll skip over that one.
David, use your high gain preset for the positive grid spark, and it sounds nice. Next, I will die in the blues tones. Oh, nice one, David. Let's know how it goes. Marky effects. Greetings, folks. Greeting, Marky. JV's hangout. What's JV got there? What's that guitar?
Looks PRS-y.
It does look. I was going to say PRS-y, but it looks like it's got a German car to it. Okay. He says, been enjoying this new Amplitude Tone X. The best ones are from people who uploaded their own captures. I completely agree. Can't quit playing it. Thanks for the video you guys did on it. Anytime, mate. Nice one. I'm going to do another one, at least one more. And then I'm going to release some profiles of my match lists and cool stuff. Jonathan says, good evening, chaps. Hi to all in the chat. Question for Paul. Where do you sell your guitars? Do you part X? I may sell one of my guitars to get more gear. Just wondering some of my options. Let us know what you've got first of all, Jonathan.
Because he might want it.
Well, Jonathan likes some high. He's got some high-end guitars. So do you know what? I like Facebook because you don't have to pay any fees. The thing about eBay, and so this is what I do. If I sell on eBay, I wait for eBay to offer one of their £1 sales, or 20. Whatever it is, 20% off, whatever they do, and they come through quite often. Less so now since eBay got taken over.
Oh, who took eBay over?
I don't know. Did Facebook buy eBay? It was something like that. No, it can't be Facebook.
That's scary.
Anyway, I think someone bought eBay. Anyway, I think yes, eBay or Facebook occasionally. Reverb.
I've got a few things that need to go on eBay.
You haven't you?
Quite a lot of things at the moment.
Do it. Try Facebook first because it's free, and all you do is you post the sales to the forums. You know, there's loads of forums on Facebook like UK guitars for sale, high-end guitars for sale, UK, that sort of stuff. But let me know what you've got.
Boom.
Stephen says, good day from Brisbane, Australia. Daylight saving has finished over there. Yes, it has, mate.
It certainly has.
Dark and horrible, and like this for the next 4 months. More than that, actually, isn't it? More than that. Good evening, gents. Just wanted to jump on and say hello. I can't wait to watch when I get home. And you, Glenn. Cheers for commenting. Mr. Genowick's in the house. He says, there's a lot of guitars for a drummer. It's true. Far too many guitars for a drummer.
It is a lot of guitars for a drummer who also plays guitar. So as was proven in our recent video, that no one actually commented on my guitar playing, which I was really quite shocked about. My hair got a mention. What the hell, people? What the hell?
It's bandit country out there, mate. Ned Amido says, good evening, everyone. Evening, Ned. JV's Hangout. I don't care for the ones IK Multimedia did. It's user profiles of amps that sound amazing. Some are unreal good. Yeah, let's know which ones, JV. I'll check them out. But on some recommendation, I recommend trying out that Matchless. I'm sure it's a Clubman. Yeah, it's really good. David Bro says, hello, mates. I bought the Seriatone or Cherryatone Klon. I know it's not real, but close enough for me. I took it off my board in February. Hold on a second. He says he bought it. I know it's not real, but close enough. He took it off his board in February. Oh, okay. Well, and I guess you're referring to the conversation we're having about the Klons and stuff. So yes, you bought that one instead. Oh, nice one. Yeah, I haven't tried that one. It's the thing about that one. It's exactly the same. It's the same box and everything. James says, I've had it since 2011, though, I think.
It is KTR, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Whenever you say KTR, I always think of KTM as in the car and bike manufacturer.
Yeah, Australian. Yeah.
Yes.
Brent says, Warm Audio just released the Centavo. It's supposed to be a clone. I'll get one of them. Don't worry about that. Dave McQuillan says, good evening, fellow rodents. Hope all is well. And to you, David. Come on, get them out. Show them.
There we go.
Know what the Highland Plectrum Company is. Now you do. David makes these
beautiful They used to be coins. Now they're useful.
Yes, absolutely, and they're really great. So go and check them out. Dave's shop is on Reverb. David says, does the Klon on the XFX come close to a Klon? No, I don't think so. Personally, I don't think any of the pedals on the XFX come close to actual pedals. So when I use the XFX, I use pedals in the chain, like real pedals in the chain, because I think the XFX is brilliant for amp tones and like post effects, like reverbs, delays, that sort of stuff. Really, really good at that.
Which is how a lot of the Uber players, the Petrucci's of the world, are using them.
Yeah, yeah.
When he does a flyaway gig, he does just use XFX. As in, when on the recent Dream Theater tour, where they were really cutting back on what they were flying.
Yeah,
there was some on stage amps, but nothing like the normal level of Petrucci madness.
Right.
It was very heavily XFX.
Was it? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely get really, really good tones, but I don't think the Klon sounds like a Klon. I don't think the BB preamp sounds like a BB preamp. And compressors as well. I think the compressors are good, and they're at least as good as any sort of modular, overdrive pedal, distortion, compressor pedal. But I think that to me is where I prefer to use like real circuits. And when I
gigged with you the other night, you had quite a nice, an ample pedal board as well as the XFX, which was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, because you're still and because the Axe-Fx takes pedals so well, I really think that's the way to do it.
Cool.
But anyway, it's my opinion. SCK, hey, from Scott in Altomy, Boston. Nice.
I'm guessing that's not Boston, Lincolnshire.
No,
nothing is autumnal about Boston and Lincolnshire.
No. I'm guessing it's a similar sort of climate in Boston.
Not dissimilar, I don't think.
Patrick said, just bought a GX100 today for my bass. It's your fault. Sorry, mate. Nice, though. You'll have fun with that. Arthur Van Riet says, what about the clone Chiron on the Axe-Fx? Did you try that one, Paul? Yes, I've tried it. I think it's all right. The only thing is, it's got, my Axe-Fx is not, no. It's only got 2 controls. It's got, no, that's not exactly true. It's got tone and it's got gain, and then I guess you've got volume as well. I think it's all right. I wouldn't expect it to sound like it doesn't even sound like my Klon style pedals that I've got. Mike's in the house. He said, evening all. Hope you are all in tune tonight. Cheers, Mike, and to you.
Mike, how was the guitar show on Sunday? Yeah. I wanted to go, but couldn't because I have had the children. So the idea of dragging my kids around a guitar show and it not costing me thousands in damaged guitars. What I shall also do, of course, at this point, I shall copy the link. So if anybody want to come and join us, I will post the link into there. So if anybody wants to come and chat and join us in the merry forum that is, please do so.
Shall I, to save me looking at news, shall I just wing it on the go?
Yeah, wing it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine, won't we?
We're good at this shit by now.
David says, and what about the Klon in the Katana? Don't expect the Klon in the Katana to sound like a Klon. I think, personally, I think it's a nice overdrive pedal. I don't think it sounds like a Klon.
Right. Having now used a real Klon and knowing what a real Klon feels like.
Yeah, and having a few sort of Klon style pedals, I've got a few. It doesn't really do that sort of thing. I think the best overdrive pedal, Klon clone, yeah.
Klon clone.
I think the best overdrive pedal in the Katana is the Blues driver, which I think is really good.
That's why we like it.
God, I can't see that from there. Wow. All rosewood neck. Wow. Absolute favorite guitar that JB owns.
Nice. I'd like a Luke.
You would? Yeah.
I'd like the Luke, the new one, which is that kind of 2-color greeny red, where you look at it from one angle, it looks red, from one angle, it looks green. That's beautiful.
Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. Really nice guitars. Facebook Marketplace, you mean? That's what I means.
Yes.
John says, hey, folks, chiming in from good old Running Seattle.
Nice.
Running Seattle. Nice. Welcome, John. Bogeyman. Evening, lads. James, how's the Nash Telly after the upgrades?
The honest answer is I haven't been to get it back yet. I've been so up to my neck in stuff. I haven't had time. I shall try and get over to see Steve because it's about an hour each way to see him. I want to get the Marshall and the Cornford back after they've been serviced. And he's also got the Nashville Telly. So I'll get that back hopefully at the weekend or for the weekend, and I'll let you know next week.
Yes.
That's okay.
Nice. Victor. Hello, mate. Victor says, ahoy, mateys. Ahoy, Victor.
Ahar.
Jonathan McCulloch says, JV's Hangout. It's a Luke 2 BFR, brother. I love it to bits, but I want some recording gear and another cab. I like the Soldano lead pedal, just released also.
I saw that and thought, yummy.
You don't need it.
I know I don't, because I've got that.
I've heard a couple of videos of it and I didn't like the sound of it. So But you definitely, because you've got the Soldano in the
The
Synergy.
only problem with the Soldano that's there,
Yeah, there
is that I have the same inside the Synergy platform. I have the same problem with the Soldano as you have with the clones. As close as that sounds to the real thing, it isn't an SLO 100.
Yeah, if you don't need a 100, you need the 30 then. If you want to go and get that, go and get the 30.
Yeah, but the 30 doesn't sound the same as the 100. It just
It
doesn't.
It does. It does.
Really?
Everyone says it's exactly the same.
SLO 30. Right, I might have to start looking out for one of those then.
Just you could sell a lot of that stuff because the SLO 30 would do quite a lot of the jobs of a lot of your.
I'd probably get rid of the Marshall head, the 100-watt Marshall head instantly if I got that.
Yeah, get rid of that. You could get rid of your 800, and you could also get rid of the Synergy.
Yeah, no, the Synergy is good because of the Dumble option. The Dumble mod is really good.
It's really good,
and the Fender module is really good as well. It's really close. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I picked that up the other day on eBay.
Oh, nice.
For 130 quid.
What one? The basement or the deluxe?
The basement.
Nice.
The basement.
Yeah, nice.
Of which, I mean, none of that, as bad as it is, none of that lot's plugged in at the minute because it's been waiting to move. What's been the point?
Yeah.
Do you remember that Marshall, the Yamaha 2x12 cab that you and I both bought? Mine's never been out of its box yet. It's been in storage for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to use it because I want to have a 1x12, a 2x12, and a 4x12 as options.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Grossman.
Yeah. And the Grossman. Yeah. Nice. Victor says, I've recently picked up the Outlaw Effects Boilermaker boost pedal, coupled with its Amp 1 ME, which is a Millennium. What is it? Oh, what is it? So you've got the Silver one, Iridium, and the Mercury. Yes. Mercury edition. There we go. I'm using no other distortion. I'm finally satisfied. Nice one. Yeah, I think boost pedals are the way forward.
Yeah, boost pedals into a nice fat amp. The Chandler.
Yeah, that takes.
Which is an awesome sounding amp. What's it called? The Spark Boost, the CC Spark Boost into that is an awesome combination.
Yeah, I agree.
And those Spark Boosts are so inexpensive now.
Yeah, really, they're really underrated. I think those.
Yeah. Notice I said inexpensive, not cheap, because cheap infers bad. They're not bad.
I mean, I know I've got the Mini, but I think mine was 20 quid.
Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Victory says there are sound examples at the bottom. At the bottom, let me have a look. No, I don't think so, Victor. I think for some reason you can't post sound examples on here, not unless we just can't see them, which is possible. But yeah, have a listen.
No, other people can't post links into the chat. We can because we're important and stuff. Unfortunately, other people can't. Even if you think you have, you can't.
Okay.
Sorry, we can't change that.
Oh, dang.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Slick. JV says you own a Luke 2. Nice, Jonathan McCulloch.
And he goes, Yep,
brother. Tone Dragon. Dang, hope I didn't miss much. Had a hearing test today and I passed. Nice one. Hold on, what's he got there?
What?
Angle. Very good.
Pardon?
He's got like a baseman and an angle, I think. And look at that pointy thing.
And he's a lefty.
Is he a lefty?
He's a lefty.
He is a lefty, isn't he?
Yes.
So there's a few lefties about.
Well, I'm one.
Yeah, but you play righty.
I know. I play, but for drums, it's very handy because I can lead right and left-handed. I haven't quite done the whole kind of learning to play Simon Phillips open-handed. I can, but I'm not as confident.
Thank God for that.
When we were doing, when I was doing gigs with the Talent, and I was basically being an 808 for half the night, I would play most of the night open-handed to give me practice doing it. It's not good, is it? You know you're a bad place when you're using gigs for practice.
Yeah. Dan Pfeiffer says Petrucci only uses fractal for effects, no amp tones.
Normally, that's the case. Not on the recent tour where they had to cut the gear down for flying and stuff.
So
As we all know,
he didn't have a. The thing is with Petrucci, because he's an endorsee of Boogie.
the Boogie will turn up wherever he needs it.
Yeah, and he's not, because he's an endorsee of Boogie. He's also not going to admit if he's not using it. It would always be there, even if he wasn't. But
yes.
But Steve Vai does the same. Says
Well, yeah, but Steve Vai uses one of those. Uses a Synergy.
Yes,
he's got his Synergy module.
Does he use so? Okay, I guess what in power amps?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
He's got one of the 4-bay Synergy rack units.
2-bay. Two bays.
Two bays, yeah. And an Axe effects and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Jonathan McCulloch.
Yeah, sorry, miles away.
Sorry. Ashley Cole says, evening guys, do either of you like to use attenuators in order to crank your amps without too much volume? If so, any advice on some lower price options?
Well, the answer to that is yes, we both do.
Yes. Never. Do you know what? I rarely use an amp without an attenuator. I've got an aux down here. James has got an aux. I've got a Boss tube amp expander there. And behind the tube amp expander is a 2-notes torpedo.
It's the way forward. Drive your amp hard and let it cook.
Okay, so any advice on some lower price options? I wouldn't go low price. Honestly,
no.
It's not.
What's the? Is it the THR do one? THD?
No, I'm not even sure the THD make them anymore.
All right, okay.
I would honestly just if you want one that's reasonably priced, go and get a 2-notes. 2-notes one.
Captor X.
Captor something. Yeah. Captor X. I think if you can afford to get the Captor X, get the Captor X. You won't regret it. And the last thing you want to do is to blow your amp up. So just stick to something that you know. Don't go and buy. Just save up a little bit longer and just go and buy a decent one as opposed to go and get like a
Don't fry your amp.
Don't
fry your beautiful amp.
Yeah. Chris says, evening rats and everybody. Evening, Chris. John says, hey guys, if a guitar plugin has an oversample option like my Benson Chimera plugin from Mixwave, is a higher or lower oversample rate better, i.e. ×2 versus ×8? I think you just got to use your ears. I would say if they're oversampling, that the higher the better.
Strictly speaking, oversampling is for improved fidelity, as in like better quality. So if you're using a beautiful reverb that has really long tail, like a like a shimmer verb or something like that, you want that oversampling nice and high. If you want a dirty delay sound, like a BBD or something like that, some kind of dirty bucket brigade type thing, whack that oversampling down low. Why use the power when you don't need the power? Just as a think more oversampling, better quality, higher frequencies, more loveliness. Lower oversampling, bit more dirt, bit more grit.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think you'll probably find that you have listened to it and you go, I can't really hear that much difference. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. They basically just reduce. It's just basically a way of reducing CPU power. I'm guessing. So your computer can handle more instances of other things. Oh, sorry. Dan Pfeiffer says, long-time Fractal user, and I agree that the drive pedals could be better. They recently were much improved, but still not quite there. Some of the models are better than others. Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's one that I really like in it. I can't remember what it is. But let's not you know, we're not saying, and I think Dan would agree, it's not as though they're not great. I mean, as compared to any other modeler, they're great, but they're not as good as the amps and the effects that are in there, which are just exceptional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially the effects. SCK says Boston, as in Cambridge, Harvard. Unfair
Boston,
question.
Mass, basically.
Yes. Is there recently discontinued amp that you would wager best chance to increase in value? It's that again. It's that again. Everyone's after making money. So JCM 900s, but you're in the States, so it's a bit different.
They're not, but the 900s are no money at the minute.
No, they're not here, mate. But in the States they are.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's like, yeah. I mean, if you could pick up a 900, I think 900s will go up at some point. What could you get that's reasonable in the States? Because you guys, I mean, you know, like your vintage gear is way more reasonable than ours. You know, for American gear, it's got to be some boogie gear. It's just got to take. The thing about Mezza Boogie is it's just got to take the next John Mayer to start playing I don't know,
dual rectifier.
Well, that's not going to happen. But yes,
no, but you know what I mean. The next Uber band person to play, I don't know,
well, yeah, all
a Lone Star, say.
Exactly. Yeah, Lone Star's a great example because a Lone Star is a great amp, and you can pick them up for next to nothing. Well, that's not true, but you can pick them up so much cheaper than new. It's ridiculous, and they're really well built.
The truth of the matter is that a Lone Star you can't pick up at all.
So heavy, aren't
there
they?
are small moons
that
weigh less than a Lone Star.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. But they're really good. The thing about Mezza Boogies to me,
every possible switching option or every possible tweak or adjustment or anything you could ever want is on that amp.
And that's their problem. They just made it. They make their stuff. I mean, they made their stuff. That they're doing it less now. I mean, I had a Mark V. It sounded like crap because it's like you can't find the sound. And then the tiniest little tweak you make on something affects everything else, and then you have to go in and then tweak everything else. It's like once you got it set, you don't touch it.
No, you set it and forget it.
Yeah, God, they're hard to use, but they sound great. Rick Mason says, "Hi chaps, just got a Katana Mark 250 for the lounge. Loving it, loads of messing around. Am I better using 4 identical channels with different boosters, etc., or switching between preset different patches?" That's a really good question. I would.
You like the clean channel and then boosts and distortions, don't you?
I do, yes.
Whereas I don't mind. I didn't like the brown channel so much.
No.
But the overdrive and the distortion channels, I didn't mind too much.
Yeah. I would use 4 different patches, I think. Yeah, I think that's the way that I would do it, because you might want. But yeah, you might want. I just did. Okay, so I did some patches recently for Boss on the Tone Exchange for the GAFC EX pedal board.
The new one, yeah.
Download that, and just use the first patch, because that's like one of those sort of patches that covers everything, and you might like that.
Cool.
David Bro says, "Are you using your Klon type pedals for overdrive off boost?" For overdrive, mainly for overdrive. Yeah, they've always got a bit of grit on it. Can't spell type, mate. You should see me. Raining Seattle. Running. Okay.
Yeah. The last time I went to Seattle, I flew in direct from London, and you know what? I got there and my jet lag was terrible. I couldn't sleep.
All right. Oh, Jesus. Your dad does it. That's just a crap joke.
The moment the penny dropped there was the moment of humor there was your face. The moment the penny dropped, you just went, oh.
If anyone else thought that was the shittest joke ever, put shittest joke in the comments.
And anyone who thinks I'm a comedy genius, just comedy genius in the yes.
Mike says guitar show was fun. Some very silly dentist bursts for 300k. Wow. I found some great small builders with great new ting that I will take to Paul to see. Nice one.
So of all the ridiculous guitars I've seen of late, Guitar, and I think a few others have had the PRS limited edition, the Orianthe signature.
Oh, have they? I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Is it?
It's kind of a pinky purpley burst. It is gorgeous. There's only about 10,000 problems.
Is that how much it cost?
Yeah.
No, it's not worth it.
I know she's a great player, but she's not Steve Vai. You know, as a name.
It's funny, isn't it? I'm not going to get into my rant. I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rant this week. It's all going to be.
I still want a Pia.
Do you?
The new Vi model.
They've got one ordered at Bonner's. I don't know if it's in yet.
I really want to try. I certainly want to try one.
Yeah, I'd like to try one. I don't think. I definitely wouldn't want one. But hey, but you know, gems have gone up in value, haven't they?
Yeah.
David says, James, I'll buy your Marshall head. You paid £80 for it. I'll give you £184.20.
No, that's not quite true. I didn't pay 80 quid for that for the JCM, the
JVM,
the JCM 2000, the DSL, the dual super lead. I paid 80 quid for that,
right?
And the cabinet.
What? As in £80 each, or for the two?
For the two, I pay 80 quid for the two. I put a new valve in that, and I know everyone says, "Oh, valve state valves make no difference at all." They're wrong.
It makes a difference.
I put a vintage one of these in it. Hang on, I put a Harmer ECC 83 Retro in it.
Yeah,
and it's totally calmed it down. It's not all fizz and zig, 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 zig. It actually sounds like a nice distortion. You know, I'm not into super anyway, but I think it sounds nice now. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to get rid.
Yeah.
But because for 80 quid, it's worth 200 of anyone's money.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the JCM, sorry, the DSL was, I think, 240 quid. Now, if anyone's, I've also had it serviced and revalved, because when we did our the most popular video the Studio Rats have ever done, that video, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But when we turned it up, my God, there was a lot of background noise. I mean, a lot of noise.
There was a lot of noise, wasn't there?
So I thought, get it serviced, get Dave to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Sort the valves out. And apparently it's nothing like as loud as it once was. As in, the hum is nothing like as bad as it once was.
Oh, okay.
So it's, you know, it's been fixed effectively.
Well, I'm going to bring over my match list, and we're going to hear the difference.
Yes.
See if.
I think we should do it with a few amps. Just crank them to within an inch of their existence.
Yeah.
And see, when someone says, "Oh, I've got a 20 watt, I've got a 100 watt, I've got a 30 watt," let's see what difference that actually makes in real acoustic terms.
Hey, have you still got your Mark Tremonti head?
Yes.
Oh, great! That's a great thing.
I'm tempted to actually hire a proper, good quality sound SPL meter as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because we got slated for that.
Yeah, do a proper one, so no one can turn around and say, "Oh, it's you using your phone."
Your phone only goes up to 112 dB. Something like that.
Yeah. You can hire them for a week for like 140 quid, 150 quid.
Oh, I'm sure you can buy them for that, can't you?
No, a proper good one, a proper one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really good one.
Nice one.
But yeah, we'll arrange that, and we'll have some fun. Well, basically, we'll get a load of amps, we'll crank them up to 11 and see what happens.
Nice.
see what see what we can blow up.
Yeah. Chris Benton says, "Cheers, Studio Rex. Greetings from Nashville." Ah, lovely. Hold on, go back. I don't want to say. I want to see the guitars. He's got some sort of it's like a Satch model-y type. Or is that an Ibanez 540? Oh God, got an itchy nozzle.
Mate, Ibanez and their really user-friendly naming conventions.
Yes. Rock on Gibbo says, "Evening chaps. On the GX100, is it possible to have a signal split to 2 separate outputs? I want to send one signal to the front of house with IR and the other to the effects return on my amp." That's a really good question. Yes. You can. I think you can split the GX, can't you? I tell you what, while we're answering questions, I'll pull it out.
I wondered what you were going to say there for a minute.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to pull out the GX100. Let's have a look. I'll have a look.
This is where normally we'd have music going.
Can I power it off the standard? Hold on, let's have a look.
Can that be done?
Can it be done? Am I going to? Oh, it's powering up. I'll have a look. Let's have butchers. Okay, next question, and this question then we'll do. I'll come back to you, Rock on Gibbo. Ashley Coles, I use a Capture X. It's well priced and good and flexible. Completely agree.
And how was being married to Cheryl Cole?
Yeah, good guitar player. Hey, so yes, technically. Let me read. Is it possible to have a signal split into 2 separate outputs? I want to send one. Can I put an output there? Let's have a quick look. Effects palettes.
This is where Paul is diving through the inner menus of the Boss GX100.
Hold on, if I've got a USB lead somewhere, I can show you on screen.
He's not really sure what he's doing. He's doing the classic guitar player technique of hit and hope.
Yeah. So if you put in a send and return, can you put a send and return in one of the slots?
In one slot and not the other?
Yeah, so I think you can if you use a send and return, if you split the amp blocks into 2, so you have 2 separate amp blocks, then you can send one off from the send to a separate output. Yes. Yeah, I can't see why you can't do that. There we go. Jeff Cap says, question, I've not been able to figure out how to use USB out from my Katana Mark II 100 into Pro Tools. Can you help? Thanks from Cleveland, Ohio. Yes. So you've got to go into your
First thing, you need to make sure you installed the driver for the Katana. Just because you're using Tone Studio doesn't necessarily, actually it does. If you're using Tone Studio, you have also installed the driver, but you do need to make sure you install the driver. What you can then do inside the Pro Tools, I haven't got this. I have, fortunately. If you go into Pro Tools Setup and then Playback Engine,
that's it.
You can then change the playback engine from whatever interface you are using to be the Katana. And that's where you change it. Pro Tools, being Pro Tools, will probably ask you to restart because it's pony like that sometimes.
It is pony.
You can then use the Katana as your I/O for Pro Tools.
Yeah, the only thing is, can you split the I/O in Pro Tools? Can you have a separate input and a separate output driver?
On a Mac, you could create a aggregate device, but that's a you-know-what ache.
Yeah.
I have done videos on it on a channel that I used to be associated with. So if anybody wants to know how to do it, you can. If you just go into Production Expert and put aggregate device setup, you'll find my video probably.
I think Jeff, I think James is exactly right by saying you need to download the driver, and I forgot about that, but yes. So he knows his onions. I think do yourself a favor and just go and download the free copy of Studio One, where you can split input and output units, devices. So you can have so what I do inside, any DAW that's not Pro Tools is to have the input being the Katana and the output being my Universal Audio Apollo interfaces. So basically it's feeding from the Katana into the computer, and then comes out the computer, and then comes out of my interfaces so I can hear it, as opposed to everything coming through the Katana, because I don't want that.
No, that would not be nice.
Yeah.
Because your monitors are slightly better than the Katana speakers.
Yeah, and yes, and yeah, the Katana hasn't got a tweeter in it. It's just it's horrible. Yeah, you don't want that. It's not designed for that. It's designed for guitar. Yeah. Tone Dragon says, I've been really looking at the Serlo box. Nice one. Yeah. Good shout. Ashley Coles, thanks. Chris Benton says, obviously effects, specifically reverb, is great for recording, but do you use reverb in live situations? Yes.
Yes.
All the time. Friedman, what's the question?
Don't understand the relevance of that one, unfortunately.
But Friedman, yes. Yeah, we like Friedman. Nidamido, here's a question. What are the best ambient pedals, delays and reverbs, and more that can destroy the attack or just be crazy huge? Affordable is a plus. I'm thinking about dabbling into that stuff. When you say destroy the attack,
well, as in like kind of like,
Yeah. Well, if you want that, the Boss gear, slow gear. Get a Boss slow gear, which basically you hit a note and then the envelope opens up, so you lose that initial attack, and then you can open it up.
The obvious ones are, what's the Strymon one that's beautiful for that sort of stuff?
What, reverbs?
Yeah,
Big Sky.
Big Sky is great for that, but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. Blue Sky's cheaper, I should say. Hey, what's really good? The MXR reverb is really good, but you're only able to have one reverb, and then you'd need to change it if you want to change anything else. It's just designed to have that reverb. It sounds really good. Delays. You can't. I mean, if you're looking at something that's reasonable, I'm looking down here.
A flashback.
Oh yeah, flashback. Great option.
Yeah, easy flashback.
Hey, look, that's okay. Then we should go down. What's the TC reverb called?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Yes,
Great reverb.
That's really good, and they're reasonable. So I'd recommend them.
I know of front of house engineers who have a Hall of Fame on the floor.
Yep.
For the lead vocalist's vocal reverb, so they can kick them in and out when said female vocalist is talking, and then they can kick it back in again, and they use that as their master reverb for the vocal.
Yeah.
On tours.
Nice.
And it's an artist who, she's not quite white, she's not quite red.
I haven't got a clue.
What do you get when you mix red and white?
Orange. No?
Red and white together gives you?
I know it. Yeah, a slightly pink. Ah!
Yeah.
There we go. What's orange?
Well done. Orange. Orange is
green,
red and yellow.
Red and yellow. Oh, okay.
Red and yellow, red and yellow, red. Anyway.
Victor says the next Uber band will be playing plugins, unfortunately. Yes, I think you're right there. Did you hear about the band that had to cancel a gig in front of 1,000 because their laptops were down? Oh gosh.
Well, their laptops were nicked. That's the difference.
Who was the band?
Rick covered a whole load of stuff on it. Rick Beato did a whole thing on it. The various people were saying, "Oh, bands need laptops." No. I don't think the whole story was there. Basically,
Okay. What band was it?
I can't remember. It was no one I'd heard of. Someone tattoo covered an American.
Okay. Nice to know you're down with pop culture.
Not really, no. But Rick did a very good job of actually defending both sides of being typically BBC and being quite impartial.
Right.
And I just thought, as someone who has used tracks and does use tracks a lot, because as we've said, Paul and I, before we came on air, we've got a gig in a few weeks with as a trio, guitar, bass, drums. But they're not going to want AC/DC and Guns N' Roses and whatever all night. They're going to want some mainstream pap. So we're going to have to use tracks because there's no budget for a keyboard player. Yeah. Now, where you are on that, morally or emotionally, right now, I don't care. We've got the gig. We've agreed to the terms. We now have to make it work.
Right.
I'll play Mustang Sally and Johnny Be Good all night.
Can I make a suggestion about that? Yeah. And this is probably something we should take off air, but isn't it just worth, because of the amount of work that we've got to do to get the tracks together, isn't it just worthwhile just everyone taking a bit of a cut and just going, let's
There's not enough money in it already.
Oh God. Really?
Yeah.
Oh God. I haven't even discussed money yet. Okay. We'll have that discussion later. Okay. Yes. Here we go. Next one.
Yeah. But yeah, it's shit if you didn't have backups. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. If that's underprepared. If you're turning up,
if my laptop was nicked by tomorrow afternoon, I would have an insurance. I'd have another laptop ready configured, ready to go, because the configuration of this laptop is up in the cloud.
Yeah.
For exactly those reasons.
Yeah, but even so, you should have backups. Everyone has backups of everything. Tone Dragon says, Nedim, check out the Walrus Audio's law. It's a reverse delay and reverse reverb. Nice. Chris says, I'm a bedroom office player with pipe dreams of playing live. Would 2 Katanas in stereo with a Victory V4 preamp be overkill for home practice in the meantime? No, I don't think so. I think you'd be surprised how good the 2 Katanas on their own sound.
Yeah.
So I would, if you want to get 2 Katanas, and then if you really want the Victory V4, go and get that. But honestly, James and I, we couldn't believe it, just sticking those two together. Sticking 2 Katanas together and hearing
it sounds so good, didn't it?
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Really, really good.
Yeah, well above its price.
High grade.
Yeah. Victory says Falling in Reverse has been criticised by fans for pulling out of this year's World Rock Festival over missing laptops.
Falling in Reverse. I'd never heard of them.
I've actually, to be honest, mate, I've never heard of them as well. So
yeah, tattoo covered Americans. What can I say?
Paul McKen Fitness and Nutrition. Seattle jet lag. Don't get it. No, mate. Honestly, you didn't need to get it. You did not need to get it. It was terrible joke.
It wasn't. It was brilliant. It was not terribly topical, but hey.
Flashback says, "Go ahead, Paul. Rant on." No, I'm not. I need to stop my rants. Fine, I'll take that. Ashley Cole says, "Here's a question for you both. You can only play 1 guitar, 1 amp, and 2 pedals for the rest of your life. What are you choosing? Money is no object." Ooh, that's good, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm really low rent.
Go on.
I want a really good Les Paul.
Yeah.
Like a 59 burst.
Nice.
I want a JCM 800.
Yeah.
I want a... See, I'd say a delay, But the problem is a JCM doesn't have a all right, Marshall Governor and a flashback. There you go.
Nice.
That is my classic rock jivey. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I'll have a Telecaster.
We are so different.
Yeah. I'd have a Telecaster amplifier. What would I have? It needs to be one that drives a little bit. I think I'd probably have a. Oh, do you know what I'd get? I'd get one of those little Dumble clones that we tried.
Right, yeah.
Those red plates, was it?
That was lovely.
Yeah, that sounded really good. I'd have a Telecaster. I'd have the red plate. Overdrive. Oh, okay. If money's no object, I'd have a proper clon. And it's got reverb. Did the red plate have reverb? I think it did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have a compressor before that. I'd have an SP compressor, exotic.
Right.
There we go.
So we haven't. I mean, other than me spending 70 grand on a Les Paul.
For a burst.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you're talking quite a bit more than that.
Really?
Yeah. Try like 300.
No.
Mate, that's what they are.
It does say money no object.
He did say that. So they are.
I have been dirt cheap everywhere else.
You have. So yes, you've done that.
Yeah, there we go.
Flashback says it's outrageous what they're asking for some of these guitars, Gibson, PRS, etc. I think it's referring to your Aranthe.
It looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It looked absolutely stunning. I was like, oh, I'd play that.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah, I would play that. I'd play that out, and everyone would go, "Wow, that's beautiful." Well, it's very pink and very purple, but I don't care. It looks stunning.
I'll have a look. We'll try and drag it up. Is it just been released?
No, I think it's been out for a while.
That's it. I've never
Yeah,
about it.
beautiful thing.
Ben says, so how did you think the Tone X compares feel-wise to the Axe-Fx Kemper and Cortex? In what ways was it worse? Okay, so you're always governed by your computer and by your interface and by the drivers that these companies create for that. I thought it felt really good. Is it as good as the Axe-Fx? Definitely not. Feel-wise. The Kemper and the Quad Cortex, I'd say it's really similar to that. I don't see the point in buying if you're a studio guy or a home guy. I don't see the point in buying a Kemper anymore. There's no point. You might as well just just buy this software. You're gonna be able to do so much more with it. The Quad Cortex.
What were you using as the front end when you were using Tone X?
The Apollo.
So you were going straight into the instrument input on the Apollo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I tried using my pedal board into it. For some reason, it was really noisy doing it that way, and I can't work out why. But no, I just went straight into the Apollo. There's certain things about it that I think could improve on.
I think the thing is with software is it's very easy to improve and it's very easy to update quickly.
Yeah. And I think it's great. I think I don't see the point in if you don't take it out live, I don't see the point in buying a Kemper anymore. Lando says, is Jack ever coming back? I don't think so, to be honest. I should leave that there probably.
Yes.
Duncan says, evening all. Unfortunately, I should say as well. Gary Waddle says, I have the original Katana 100. Is there a big difference between that model and the Mark II?
A lot, actually.
Yeah. There's quite a big difference in the sort of tones you can get out of it. The Mark II is quite a bit. It's quite a bit better. It's worth upgrading. I'd really recommend upgrading. Chris says, my Ibanez in the background is an S470. What did I say? 450?
Yes.
470 then. It must be a pickup thing. Nice. Really nice. That's the Frank Gambale model, the thin.
Very nice.
Lightwing Studios, evening, gents. A bit late on my part. Not at all. Better late than never. He says, picked up an HB Nashville Steel Taylor T5 claim. Pretty nice at 1/10 of the price, but it ain't no Taylor.
HB, presumably you're meaning Harley Benton?
Harley Benton, yeah, they did release them, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was trying to work out what HB was, of course. Nice though. Jeff Cap says, thanks for the Katana Pro Tools advice. You guys are great. Oh, cheers, mate.
Right, at that point, we will pause.
Yeah.
For the news.
Sorry, so because I've been what's the word? Because I've been
preoccupied.
That's a good word. That's good.
Ignorant, bored.
No. I should have been doing the news, but I've completely forgot. So we're basically what we're doing is news on the fly, which is the first time we've done this. So basically, I haven't looked at the news. So I'm gonna have to be. I'm sort of going to be guessing what things are. So it's going to be quite fun. Okay. Yeah. Am I on?
You certainly are.
Right. Right. So this came out this week. So I do look to see what does come out, but I haven't actually sort of planned the news, I should say. So the Morley have released this analog multi effects.
That looks like Ibanez did a multi pedal thing back in the 80s. Okay, it didn't have a Morley wire on it.
Yeah.
And it was built of plastic. But that's what it was. Basically 4 pedals in a row that you could switch on and off.
Yeah. And when I first looked at this, I thought, what's going on there? It looks like something from the 90s. But it is quite fully featured. It's got an effects loop in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also got a stereo out, which I think is brilliant.
It looks like someone's degree project because there's so much blank space on the chassis.
That is exactly what it looks like.
It looks like someone's gone to Maplin, bought a metal chassis.
Yeah.
Bought some knobs. I'm not saying it sounds like that, but design wise, they've spent about 35p on the chassis. Put a blooming great Morley pedal on it and some cheap rubber feel buttons.
I don't think that's fair. I think the chassis. I mean, that's quite an expensive chassis. I would have thought to build that, wouldn't you say?
No, that's that's a generic off the shelf chassis.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, how much do you think it is? So it's got a wire. So it's got a Morley wire.
All right. So that's 100 quid.
What new? Maybe you might better get on for 100 quid. I think a bit more than that. A distortion. I mean, again, we don't know what distortion's like.
All right, let's go 250.
What, the whole thing?
Yeah.
No, you're half price there. It's 499. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, sure. The thing I don't get why it's got distortion, high gain, chorus, and echo. I don't know why it hasn't got an overdrive. I don't know why it's just, and it says diamond distortion. So I'm guessing that's going to be like it's going to be like a rectifier, isn't it? And who uses that sound anymore? No one uses that sound.
Yeah. Sorry, Morley.
Did anyone use that sound anymore? I don't think so.
I did watch a video today, and I can't. Yeah, I can.
Go on.
I watched a video by someone who likes to shout from Northern America.
Oh, he's Canadian, isn't he?
North America.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
that's like the shout, didn't he?
I know I get embarrassed about my guitar playing. I'm going to leave it there.
Oh, okay. Oh, was he doing the review of it?
Not of this, of something else, but it was
okay. Okay. Anyway, back
Yeah.
to where are we? Is it this one? Do that. Can I go back
You were
this
there.
way?
Okay.
Yeah, I can go back that way. Come on, SSL. What is SSL doing?
Has anyone
They
got any
were a
straws?
Huh?
Has anybody got any straws?
Oh my god. Honestly, this brand used to be a
Legend.
brand. Yeah, it's a legendary brand. It's a brand that everyone thought, one day we're gonna, and now they're bringing out shit like this.
If the thing is, SSL are now owned by Audiotonics, the same company that own Alan Heath and a few other high-end audio brands that I can't. They now own Slate Digital. A few other high-end audio brands. They could have branded this as any other company.
That is
SSL was the wrong brand. No boardroom, no podcaster gives a flying about an SSL boundary microphone for conferencing.
honestly, you and me are agreeing today for the first time. That is an absolute joke. What is going on with that? Okay, I'm going to skip that. Oh, I like that. Hold on. There you go. The Mono Neon Jazz Bass 5. No, actually, no, I don't.
Do you know what?
What's
I mean,
going on with the sock?
Other than the sock, I actually really like that. I don't necessarily like the color, but I like the setup. I like the pickups on that are going to sound amazing.
Why has it got a? What's the? Okay, so I'm guessing he normally puts a sock on his bass.
See, I'd say, not wishing to offend any of the ladies who might be watching, I'd say that's his jizz sock, not his jazz sock.
Oh, Jesus. You've taken it to the next level now, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Sorry, I've had 2 GMTs and I'm anybody's that, but
Jesus. Okay,
no, Jesus.
Let's go back. Oh, what? This is Brian May guitars. Okay, Steve Vai is auctioning off over 300 items.
Because he hasn't got many guitars, has he?
Look, they're like, what are those Brian May monstrosities?
They're horrendous.
Damn. Got
That's nice. No, that telly's nice. Whatever that is at the top.
The GNLs.
That's very nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Do you know what?
That's cool.
I don't mind that. Funny enough,
it's got the right number of strings at least for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't handle anything more than that.
Now, right. If you're going to do a pedal in a 599 chassis, that's how to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. What is that?
I don't care. Look at the quality of the knobs on that. The chassis is probably a cheap. The chassis is a basic steel chassis, but the detail there is in the knobs and the beauty of that thing.
Yeah, that looks like it's well made, doesn't it?
There's the truth of the matter is there's probably, should we say, at bulk 10 quid's worth of pot tops there that makes all the difference to the look of that unit.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
Looks very nice.
So there we go. So there is a gem that I like the look of.
Yeah.
So Soldano released the Super Lead Overdrive pedal. I mean, I sort of get, the only thing that I don't get about these sort of amp in a box pedals is if you plug that into a Fender amp, it's not going to sound like a Soldano.
No. It might sound like a Soldano into a Marshall, because let's face it, a Soldano is realistically a modded Marshall.
Yeah, exactly. If you plug that into a Marshall, it will probably sound like a Soldano, but not into a. Definitely not. Do not plug it into that thing.
How much is it?
Well, the pedal.
Yeah.
260.
How much are you looking at for a SLO 30 or a Super Lead 30?
On Sweetwater. Let's go Sweetwater because I'm sure it'd be better for our. Oh,
That's a lot of dough, isn't it?
it's a lot of dough.
How much is 100 now? 100's not far.
3.5. 3.5 is 100. So it's actually, I think, for the extra money, it is worth buying.
You might as well get the 100, yeah.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, but the 100's a beast. I mean, it's
low boxes. We all know that.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Okay. Where am I? Where's mine?
I don't know.
Oh, there we are. Here we go.
Right.
Here we go. I'm not organised today. Okay. So if there's anything else here, Boss released a slicer. So the slicer is, if you want to get those sort of, it's not the effect. That's not how they did it. But you know the how soon is now guitar sound. That that sort of. It's a really cool, useful sound.
I saw Gary Moore do it.
Yeah.
With on an Explorer.
Yeah.
Using the pickup selector.
Oh yeah.
So one pickup down, all the way down. One on.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my god, that poor pickup selector.
Yeah. That's gonna get a bashing, isn't it? Cool though, but it's got USB, so you can import.
Yeah.
Patterns on it. I think that's great. Boss products, built like tanks. Really good. Let's not worry about that. I'm not gonna give a monkeys about Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein's pedal.
Wow.
Sure, no one gives a monkeys about that. Synclavier, no, we're not. It's guitar things. We're not talking about that. Chug, there's a pedal.
Oh, there's a Harley Benton moment.
Oh, there is. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Look at that.
Oh, that purple looks beautiful. I know you probably like the seafoam green, but that purple.
No, I like the purple.
Oh,
look at that. That's how much is it? Okay, let's have a guess.
Well, any other brand, I'd say $500, 500 quid, but that's probably going to be about 250 euros.
I reckon 279. 229. What is going on? That's so good, isn't it? And they look great. Oh, that's so good. Okay.
Thing is, if depending on where you are on your concerns about what you're getting, and we've said it before with that Nashville telly, it's a Mexican, isn't it? No, Japanese.
Yeah. No, it's a Mexican.
You could swap out all the components on that make that a quote unquote Mexican guitar as opposed to an American guitar for probably a couple hundred quid.
No, I don't think so. I think you're talking, I would say probably 300 to 400 quid.
I'd say 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, you might be compromising on a bit of weight from the timbre.
Yeah.
But as we've known before, a lot of Fender necks are made in the same Mexican factory, and then shipped to the most Fender necks are machined in Mexico.
Oh wow!
I can't say all because
right.
that would make us slanderous potentially. But most are made in the Mexican factory, then shipped in the States for finishing and stuff onto the American brand, onto the American line. Oh. But even if that sounds halfway average, with a couple hundred quid of pickups or whatever, you could probably turn that into an amazing sounding bass.
Yeah,
but under the price of an amazing sounding bass.
Yeah. I think you're right. I completely agree. So I was going to talk about these, but then nah.
Life's too short.
Yeah, no. So if there's anything else? No, we've gone into sort of last week's stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
So just 2 seconds, and we just have a quick look at Guitar World, just in case they've got anything slightly different. Come on. Oh well, there we go. Empress Effects, they've got a new parametric. I think. Oh, that's a bold claim. Hold on. Billy Corgan claims that Butch Vig stole his guitar sound for Nirvana's Nevermind.
That
The
sounds like
sounds are nothing like each other.
that sounds like someone who's upset because Nirvana's Nevermind is one of the biggest rock albums in history, and most people who've got a copy of Nevermind have never heard of Billy Corgan.
Oh no, I think Billy Corgan. No, I'd say that most people that that bought Nevermind probably know Billy Corgan is, but I think the sounds are completely different. So
they might know of Smashing Pumpkins, but they probably wouldn't know of Billy Corgan.
Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Whereas I think most people on planet Earth can name 2, if not 3, the 3 members of Nirvana.
Yeah. What's next?
And Chris Novoselic, depending on how he's pronouncing it that week.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us have heard of.
Adam Sandler is touring with. What's going on with Adam Sandler? He's touring with. Look at Antigua Versa. An impressive guitar collection. Is he doing? What's he doing?
I hope he's a better guitar player than he's an actor.
Oh, I love Adam Sandler. He's brilliant. How dare you? No, I'm defending. He's great. Let me go back. We've done that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Next auctions, you should look for a Dan Electro.
Yes, I know I should. Yeah, I should.
You're by far the cheapest guitar you own, but probably the one you play the most.
Yeah, no. When I was in Guitar recently, there was a used one there, sort of the same as yours with the
bit of tape around the edge.
With the tape around the edge. Yeah, and it sounded really good, and I was really tempted to buy it.
This is how often. So at the moment, I've got as anyone who knows, I'm actually a drummer, but I only like guitars. The guitars I use a lot are the ones that are in the 3-bay sort of stand next to me. Yeah. And in there at the moment is my Fender Jazz, the Tele Thin Line, and the Dan Electro. Because that thing sounds. If you want to do a Beatles cover, that thing's great.
Yeah.
It's got no mid or bottom end at all. It's all top end and that kind of ding 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 ding.
I think that thing sounds brilliant. It's such a great guitar, that. Anyway, let's do more questions. Duncan says, have you seen the Warm Audio pedals, the Clone and the Warm Drive? Yes, we have. We talked about them last week, actually, Duncan. Yeah. Looks exciting. Yeah, I think quite reasonable. I think the Clone is 189.
Yeah, like not expensive.
No. Lightwing says, try the EH, the Electro Harmonics Canyon Delay. Yes, that's another good one. No Strymon, thanks. I don't need too many. I've got the MXR Reverb. It's really amazing. Yes. Oh, great. Glad you got that. It's really good. James, I agree. The SLO 100 pedal is awesome. If you've got metal in your soul, it sounds great.
Yeah, everyone's realised that. Yes, Pink. Yes.
Martin says, Clone. Very overrated. Not enough note. Def annoying. I think there's quite. I disagree. I think the Clone has loads of def annoying. No, actually, I do. I think the Clone has loads of note definition. I think the EQ on the Clone is massive. We go from
dull to cut you in half.
Yeah. Oh man, I've just spent a lot of money on that. Maybe I'm just trying to defend something because I spent a lot of money on it. My MXR Reverb blew my Hall of Fame 2 off my main board in seconds. I've got the EHS Canyon Delay and it's great, but I like the options on top instead of the secondary options. Good point. Bang Grandma, please. Who's Grandma?
Not sure.
Is he referring to your jokes unless Grandma was being offensive?
Probably.
Is there any?
No, Grandma. I've already banned. Yes, I've been through. Yes.
Who was Grandma? Oh, have you? Okay.
I went and decided that they didn't need to be here. They've gone.
All right. Lando, you guys need some mods.
Moderators, yes, we probably do, but then people would want to do and stuff and get involved. And it's only you, it's only Paul and I. It's a sign of success that we're getting harassment. So,
yeah, I mean, is it? Yeah, no, there was an offensive one last week. I think if it continues,
there was an offensive one this week.
Oh, was there?
It was virginal offensive.
Yes, you're probably right then, Lando. We probably do.
I'm pretty broad-minded, but yeah.
Steve says, outside of the jazz groups, every band out there plays the tracks. Yeah, there we go. I think Steve's right.
If you go and see Pink Floyd, if you go and see Brit Floyd, or you go and see the Ozzy Floyd show, all to track.
Yeah,
it has to be to sync with the lights and the effects and everything, and the video screens and everything like that.
Yeah,
that's how it's done these days.
Clon. Overrated.
Yeah.
Two Cats in Stereo is heaven. It is. It really is. It's such a great sound.
We didn't expect it to be as good as it was, did we?
I wasn't nowhere near expecting it. It's such a try Katana out to a JC40. James likes JC. I'm not a fan of JCs.
My amp buying at the moment is seriously on hold for obvious reasons. And will be for a while at this rate, but yeah.
Nedamido says, Tone Dragon, thanks. And thanks, James and Paul. Of course, it needs to be said. Cheers, Nedim. Lando says, my last show, our laptop crashed counting in the first song. So we just had to play the first 3 songs with no click and no guitar looping. My pedal was synced with the DAW's click via MIDI. So
the thing is, if it falls over, you need to be able to just do it. Yeah. The reason for using tracks, I think, is to enhance what you've got, not to be a crutch.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
reason we use tracks with the old band is because people wanted us to sound like the full version with 4 of us.
Yeah.
So you put the extra percussion and the extra keyboards and the extra little guitar parts and the stuff that makes everyone go, wow, they really sound like the real deal. My thing was always that we should do the tracks ourselves, as in we should at least play it rather than buy them in.
Yes.
And I was always quite strict on that. And you could tell the tracks that I'd spent a long time working on to get all the percussion stuff sounding just right, but not sounding too right, so it sounded like the real thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I wanted it to sound like we'd done it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you go to karaoke versions and you buy the cheap copy. Down there, anyway. Yes.
Lando, you played, said Victor.
Yes. Sounds like it.
Lando said, to be honest, I was kind of psyched. Haha, my drummer is extremely trained and loves playing to a click, and it was the sweet spot for looping, but I like to shoot from the hip. There we go. Nedamido says, if money was no object, I would get Hendrix's Strat and play it badly, turn the right way. Hey guys, hi Timothy. A bit late, need to catch up. No problem, mate. You can always catch up. You can watch it tomorrow. It's all good. So what's up with Grandma tonight? I didn't see what Grandma said.
Grandma has been blocked.
You have to tell me what Grandma said later on. I had a Morley Evo 1A oil drum delay. Amazing, but eventually died. Wow. Nice one. $500. Any Scuffum gear users here? Yes.
You love it, don't you?
I do. I think Scuffum brilliant. Yeah. Ned says, hey, Mono Neon. The guy's one of the best musicians I've ever heard. He's a bit silly. Check his stuff out on Instagram. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Mononian.
I love it apart from the sock. Our safe is in the house. Evening, Paul and James. Do you own any baritone guitars? How often would you record with it and when? I don't actually.
There was one on the auction, wasn't there? A few auctions ago. There was a Music Man baritone that I was quite interested in, but like all things, it went really high. I'd like one. I think for the studio it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to play chords low.
Yes.
That sounds quite cool.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I've I've played. I haven't got one. Every time I buy a new guitar, I end up just buying a guitar that I've already got.
Another Telecaster.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, I should get baritone. Lightwing Studio says new BM. Brian May.
Brian May.
Guitars are a cross between a Red Special and a Firebird, and a 705 US. Look at that. Lightwing says, yes, I use S-Gear. Great software from a Brit in Estonia. He is. Harley Benton's are too complicated to get here in the States. Do you guys must have a similar sort of brand though? That you know that
I think Harley Benton are one of a kind. I'm guessing Sweetwater have their own brand.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Probably all made in the same factory.
But Harley Benton have really turned around from being those unplayable SGs 20 years ago to being a huge brand now.
Yeah. I don't know much about their sort of second-hand value. I'm guessing it's like next to nothing.
Yeah.
Lightwing says, my recent Harley Benton purchase was a piece of cake. Ordered it and it was here in 6 days. Flawless too. Well, there you go. Sorry, Lightwing. I'm new to S-Gear. I like it. Yes, it's great, Timothy. It's really good. Timothy, wash hands. I don't say. I've a Harley Benton TE30 that I did the fret ends and a good polish, and it's not bad at all. Pretty shocked. Nice one. Sandler was amazing in Love Rain Over Me. Other than that, he stinks. Oh, I really like Sandler. I think he's great.
No, sorry, Little Nicky can't. No, just no.
Yeah, but is that a comedy role?
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be.
It's great. It's one of my favorites. David says apparently the SLO pedal sounds better and works through a clean amp. Well, there we go. Paul, do you really like the S-Gear? Yes, I do. I've done some videos on it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good. Guitar tone in the room doesn't sound like the recorded guitar tone. Let's remind ourselves of that. Guitar tone in the room doesn't sound like the recorded guitar tone. Let's remind ourselves of that. Mics and mic position and mic distance affects the tone. Like it certainly does.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly does.
Boom.
Lightwing says, I rather love the intimacy of just the two of you being here and available to all of us. Thank you, Lightwing.
Well, it is just us. There's no back room of people moderating all this stuff. It's the two of us.
I think that's what I'm finding really hard at the moment is just like shooting the video. Excuse me. Shooting the video, the editing. It gets like long, doesn't it? It's a long days.
And the more you improve your production value, the longer everything takes.
You're so right, because you do more to it.
You go, all right, guys, I've got a new thing and it's great and it sounds amazing and here it is, brilliant, easy. The Instagram world.
Yeah.
But when you start doing stuff that's involved, and
I've got $4,000 worth of cameras set up that I'm. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
I know.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you've been doing it for ages. John Miles Taylor says, really late to this party, but evening all. Evening, John. I'm in love with the UAD Dream and Ruby pedals. I've never got such a good tone for recording so easily. Oh, nice one. I mean, I'm not surprised that the UAD stuff's fantastic.
When you buy one of the Ruby pedals, do you think you open the box, it goes,
No. Next question. Maybe Paul should give us a quick rundown of his experience with the red plate amps. The blues machine is making my MasterCard look nervous.
Go on to the video.
Yeah, we did a video on it over at Clive Kay's house. There's a video we did with it was a real 59 Les Paul and a 57 Les Paul.
And a 53 telly, was it?
52 telly.
Yeah.
I think it's a 52 Blackguard, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that amp sounded great.
The red plate was amazing. Was it a cot? What was the other? There was 3 amps, wasn't there? We tried.
There was a red plate. There was a 2-rock, and there was Fuchs.
Fuchs.
Didn't like the Fuchs, did we?
It was a bit too. There was another case that there was too much.
Too much, yeah. But the red plate was lovely. Carl Cravens, love the video of that Masterbuilt Strat when you were plugging into an actual clone or a particular or a clone. I guess it sounded amazing. No, it was a real clone, a proper one. Yeah, it was.
That guitar was great, but that guitar through that pedal was greater.
Yeah, because that amp was a bit of a bag of spanners, wasn't it? You didn't like the amp.
No, we made that amp sound very good with that clone.
Yeah, we plugged the amp in and went, ooh, I'm not sure about this. And then we plugged the clone into the amp, and it sorted out that amp. Even just with the clone off, because of the buffer inside, it did something to that.
I think that proves a classic case of the input section of the amp is so important. Which when Avid did the 11 rack, they got the input section so right.
Yeah. I agree.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah. William says, good evening, Paul and James. Do you guys plan to make a video of acoustic steel string guitars, Martin Taylor, etc.? Regards, Will.
We should.
Yeah, we should. Maybe we can go down Bonners again, because they've got a really nice acoustic section down there.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll have to play, because I cannot play acoustic other than jenga jing jenga 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 jing.
Yeah. I've got a Taylor. But it's strung to Nashville, so it does sound good though. Really.
Yeah.
David says, I watched your video on the new GAFC EX. How different is it to the first edition? You can do loads more with it, and you can also hook up a GAFC to it as well. I'm going to do a future video on it, so you can actually have the 2 pedals side by side.
That's
cool.
One
in front of each other for more expandability. It's brilliant.
Very cool.
It's really good. Howdy, K Michael P. Oh, I know what's happening. People are coming in late because of
the daylight savings. Yeah.
Lightwing Studio says that Sandler movie was about a guy who lost his wife and daughter in one of the 9/11 planes. Incredible performance. God, that sounds harrowing. I don't think I want to watch that. Hey guys, hey everyone. Hey Eric. Martin says, Paul, you need to try the Dodd 250. Great note definition. Yeah, I've heard the 250 is really good. I've never tried one. Eric says, just got in the Ducatone and the Warm Audio Centavo, both pretty amazing. Barely scratched the surface with them so far. The only thing, I was going to buy a Ducatone. I might have a Kingatone being lent to me by the lovely John Green, friend of the show. So I'll do a video of that. The only thing is, I saw a video on the Ducatone compared to the Kingatone. It sounded completely different as far as I was concerned. It sounded great, but different.
Interesting.
But still sounds great. Have to go, gentlemen. Take care, and thank you for all you do. Cheers, Timothy, and you.
You're welcome.
Steve. Oh, what's Steve got? Oh, that's a nice guitar, isn't it? The best Dumble style tone I've achieved is with my Mesa Boogie Lone Star 100 and a J Rocket Dude V2. Have you fellas ever tried one or both? Yes, tried both. Not together.
No, the Lone Star is an amazing amp. Really amazing.
I was really thinking about getting a Lone Star. Actually, we were going to try one to upset someone.
We were.
Oh well.
I am mending that bridge on a daily basis.
Oh, don't worry about it. Honestly, I'm not worried. Good. You mend it for your. Yes. Yeah. Don't worry about me, but for yourself, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. The Lone Star, fantastic, and J Rocket, the dude, is a great pedal as well. Yeah. Bogeyman, don't fall into the trap of over-engineering the videos. The quality is already there. Putting in hours of editing doesn't add anything more. Pace yourselves, mates. Cheers, Bogeyman. Well, I already do have to put in hours, because you would not believe the amount of outtakes. James is really good. You're really natural in front of the camera. But me, honestly, it's like there's like an hour of swear words in between all of the edited video, because it's like literally
The problem is you're very one is very critical of your own presentation. So
Right.
when you hear something and you hear that in normal speech you wouldn't fluff a line and it would go.
Yeah.
But because it's then captured in video and on celluloid or whatever forever,
yeah,
you don't let it go.
Yeah.
Because every time you play that, you hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you tend to be a lot more picky, a lot more picky, and that's where the whole, I've been doing a lot of like 60-second videos for Antelope, and you would think, how long does it take to make a 60-second video? Well, the answer is, to be honest, it doesn't take that much longer to make a 10-minute video.
Yeah,
you've still got to set the cameras, you've still got to set everything up, and it's that sort of stuff that takes the time. You've still got to write the script. Okay, the script writing might take less time.
I don't write the script. Maybe that's my problem.
I know, but sometimes if you're doing something where you have to hit a certain number of marks, I actually write a script, and I've got a that box there.
Yeah,
is a
teleprompter
auto cue. Yeah, brilliant thing. For videos where you do,
when I watch people that do scripts, it always looks like their eyes are slightly doing this because they're reading
the teleprompter is too close.
Right. I see. Okay.
The teleprompter's far enough away, you can't tell when you're flicking across the screen.
But it always looks like it's never quite relaxed. Then I always think. But anyway,
I would like to think I'm fairly good at it. I think if you're good at it, I still say the best script reader I've ever seen, and any of you who've ever been to NAMM will probably agree with me. The girl who reads the NAMM TV dailies.
Oh, okay.
On all the screens around the Anaheim Convention Center for the NAMM News or NAMM Daily, whatever it's called.
Right.
You would think she knew the pro audio and guitar industry. You'd think she was an absolute pro and knew everything there was to know. She works for NAMM TV, for Anaheim Convention TV. She doesn't work for NAMM. She knows nothing about the music industry, but she can read an auto cue like the best of anyone I've ever heard. And I know this because my sister-in-law, who's in the fashion industry, also goes to Anaheim for a convention, and it's the same woman, and she does the same job. And you think she's or she has two specialisms, music and shoes.
Yeah.
So it's a very much a skill, and very much a skill I've had to work on to be able to read an auto cue and make it sound like it's me still.
Yeah. John says, I'd like to see a comparison between acoustics. They all record so differently. Nice expensive one often needs loads more EQ than some cheaper ones. I think the different body shapes makes a massive difference. I'm not sure about expensive ones over cheap ones. I think if you've got something with a really big body, something like a Gibson, the J200s,
one of the big jumbos.
Yeah. Personally, I always think dreadnoughts record really, really well. Parlor guitars have got a certain sound. Jumbos have a certain sound, and dreadnoughts have a different sound.
I did play one once that was like this. It only had
It
only had 4 strings.
I love that. It's so funny. Yes, we will do that. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll take another trip down to Eastbourne.
Yeah,
if they'll have it.
That'll get expensive again.
Well, you're spending some money. Yeah, maybe we'll do it when they get that pier in. Actually, do you know what we could do? We could go down there and do a comparison between the KTR, the proper clon, and some other clones. Just do a clon shootout. Eric says, "Lol, the curse of words are the glue that holds us all together." It's true. Ron Burgundy. Yeah, that's the name I was thinking of. I was trying to think Ron, and the only Ron that I could think of was Ron Jeremy, and I thought, no, that's not right.
Definitely not. There's no auto cue there, mate.
I don't think he reads anything. No. Lightweight Studio. She's probably has a photographic memory. Yeah. We're done.
We're there. We got to
Wow.
the end. We survived.
Woo!
Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yes.
Slightly
Thanks,
strange show tonight with Paul
Hey.
doing no prep whatsoever.
No, and no rant. I didn't rant this week.
No, what's going on?
Well, I've got things to rant about, but I'm going to control myself because I know that because this is what happens. I wake up in the morning and go, oh no, did I say that? So I'm not. I'm just going to be one of those people now that sits on the fence and doesn't have opinion in anything.
Oh, bless you. Well, my turn next week then, perhaps.
Yeah.
Really hope you enjoyed tonight. We always do. We have a great time. So thanks ever so much for joining us. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel next week. Remember, it's now the winter in the UK, so we're on GMT, so we're an hour later. Stop doing that. It really freaks me out.
Oh, you love it. You love it. Look, you do this.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, that's it. We got it. This is so much better. It's so much better.
I'll
do it.
That's just wrong.
I drank better. Yeah, too much.
Stop it. Stop it now. See you next week, everyone. 8 o'clock next Wednesday. Have a great week. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and all that. And we'll see you very soon. Good night.
Cheers, guys.